8th grade, you have finished transferring. I didn't actually transfer all of it, but we're assuming that you transferred all of it with your piece of pie. So this would go all the way around and should match back up. And now you're going to go ahead and outline in your Sharpie. So I think most of these are new, so you should have a pretty nice tip on these. I don't have any of the thicker ones I can send with you, but with a Sharpie, if you use the pointy tip, that would make a thinner line, and if you hold it like this, that makes a thicker line. So what I'd like you to do is go over all your lines with your Sharpie, but you're going to emphasize the most important things. So when you emphasize something, you're going to have bolder, darker lines, and that's going to draw our eyes to that particular piece of your pattern. So it's better to look at it as a whole, so I should have finished this whole design first, but for demo purposes, I'm not going to worry about that. I think what I want the viewer to really focus on would be this middle area, so I might go over that, make it a little bit darker. But this area, if you can't emphasize everything. If you emphasize everything, you've actually emphasized nothing, because it will all be the same thickness. So this one, I am just going to do a skinny line, and you can turn your paper, and if stuff doesn't match up exactly, just sort of fudge it and imagine where it would line up and go ahead and just draw in a line, and that's perfectly fine. So when you get this, I think I'm going to emphasize these little triangles right here. So see how I'm going over that line more than once and thickening it up a little bit, and I do want this to mirror, so I'm going to make sure I do this nice and thickly. Okay, and then I would go all the way around outlining. After I've outlined everything, I'll go ahead and erase. I can send you guys with erasers today. So then I go ahead and erase my pencil line. Make sure your Sharpie's dry or it's going to smudge everywhere and you won't be able to get that out. Okay, make sure you throw all this in the trash so you don't make a mess of your house. Once you're done with this, you're going to choose a color scheme. So we talked about warm, we talked about cool, monochromatic, analogous. So you're going to choose a color scheme with which to color this in. If you need to borrow colored pencils, see me before the end of class and I'll sign some out to you. And you don't have to have it completely finished because we will have a couple more classes. If you're still working on your printmaking, you might want to work a little bit more on this so you won't have as much to do in class. And emphasizing, outlining, and coloring in your color scheme is your remote work. All right, I'm all done.